IPOB's X Space Sunday program, Amplifying Biafran Self-Determination Amid Government Repression and Internal Challenges. The Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, has increasingly utilized digital platforms like X Spaces to advance its political and regional agenda, particularly through its Sunday programs focusing on political and regional affairs. These programs, often broadcast via Radio Biafra or hosted on X Spaces under accounts Radio Biafra Live, serve as a critical tool for mobilizing supporters, disseminating information, and shaping public discourse on Biafran self-determination. Family Writers Press International will analyze the IPOB X Space Sunday program, specifically focusing on its content, objectives, and impact, with reference to the broader context of IPOB's activities and the historical struggle for Biafran independence. The IPOB X Space Sunday program on political and regional affairs is a regular virtual event designed to engage Biafran supporters, both in Nigeria and the diaspora, on issues related to self-determination, regional security, and political developments in Southeast. These programs typically feature discussions led by IPOB X hosts, activists, or supporters, addressing current events, organizational strategies, and the ongoing detention of IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The programs are part of IPOB's broader media strategy, which leverages platforms like Radio Biafra and X to bypass mainstream media censorship and reach a global audience. A notable example of such a program was highlighted in a September 6, 2025 X post by Yuyi Clement announcing a live session on Air Radio Biafra Live. The topics included distinguishing IPOB from Simon Ekpa, a controversial figure recently convicted in Finland on terrorism-related charges, and encouraging Biafrans to invest in the Biafran region to bolster economic self-sufficiency. These topics reflect IPOB's dual focus on clarifying its organizational identity and promoting regional development as part of its self-determination agenda. Content and themes. The Sunday programs typically cover a range of political and regional issues, including clarification of IPOB's identity and leadership. IPOB uses these sessions to address internal divisions and external misrepresentations. For instance, the September 7, 2025 program aimed to differentiate IPOB from Simon Ekpa's faction, which operates under the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE. Ekpa was allegedly instructed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to broadcast on Radio Biafra, but he refused to sign IPOB broadcasting agreement, which prompted IPOB Directorate of State DOS to deny him access to Radio Biafra. DOS also distanced IPOB from Ekpa, and he has since led a splinter group accused of violent activities. IPOB's emphasis on distancing itself from Ekpa underscores its commitment to maintaining a nonviolent image, despite Nigerian government claims to the contrary. The detention of Nnamdi Kanu since his 2021 extraordinary rendition from Kenya remains a central theme. IPOB frequently uses X Spaces to demand his release, highlighting judicial delays and alleged government persecution. For example, IPOB has condemned statements by Nigerian officials, such as National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, as assaults on justice and democracy. These programs rally supporters to sustain pressure on the Nigerian government and international bodies. IPOB encourages Biafrans to invest in the Southeast to reduce dependence on Nigeria's broader economy. This aligns with the IPOB's vision of a self-sustaining Biafra, reflecting historical Igbo resilience during the Biafran War, 1967 to 1970, when local ingenuity produced innovations like the Ogbonigwe explosive and manufacture its own oil. The programs often criticize the Nigerian government's policies, particularly those perceived as marginalizing the Biafran people. Discussions highlight issues like underrepresentation in federal appointments, lack of infrastructural development in the Biafra, and security operations targeting IPOB members. IPOB uses X Spaces to address security threats in the Southeast. often accusing groups like Ebubeagu and other state-backed militias of targeting IPOB members. The IPOB X Space Sunday program serves multiple strategic objectives: mobilization and unity. By engaging supporters weekly, IPOB reinforces its decentralized structure, particularly through the Directorate of State, DOS, which ensures continuity despite KANU's detention. The DOS, modeled on governance, empowers regional leaders to make decisions, making the movement resilient to external pressures. The Nigerian government and the media often label IPOB as a terrorist organization, a designation nullified by a 2023 court ruling. X Spaces provide a platform to counter these narratives, as seen in IPOB's rejection of links to violent acts attributed to ECPA's faction. IPOB uses X Spaces to maintain global support. The platform's accessibility allows Biafrans abroad to participate, reinforcing the movement's international presence and fundraising efforts. Advocacy for self-determination. The programs frame self-determination as a legitimate right, drawing on historical grievances from the Biafran War and post-war marginalization. IPOB's call for a referendum echoes global self-determination movements, such as those in Catalonia, as noted in its congratulatory message to European allies. Historical context and connection to self-determination. The IPOB X Space Sunday program is rooted in the historical struggle for Biafran self-determination, which began with the 1967-1970 Civil War. The war's legacy, marked by an estimated 1 to 3 million deaths, primarily from starvation, continues to shape Biafran identity and grievances. Post-war policies, such as the indigenization decree and limited federal investment in the Southeast, entrenched perceptions of marginalization. Ralph Uwazuruiki's MASOB, founded in 1999, revived the Biafran cause through nonviolent agitation, but faced repression and internal sabotage, allegedly by Igbo politicians. Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB, established in 2012, learned from MASOB's challenges, adopting a decentralized structure through the DOS to prevent infiltration. The X-Space programs reflect this evolution, using technology to bypass state-controlled media and maintain momentum despite Kanu's detention. The emphasis on economic self-reliance and regional investment mirrors historical Biafra resilience, such as wartime innovations, and aligns with the Igbo principle of Igwebuike, community is strength. X Spaces allow IPOB to reach a global audience, fostering solidarity among Biafrans and countering mainstream media narratives, shaping regional discourse, addressing security and economic issues.